Joining me now is Mike Leathers, CEO of Pipeline Plastics, one of our big supporters at the Alliance for PE Pipe. Welcome, Mike Leathers.
Thanks, Peter. Happy to be here.
Yeah, Flora Showcase, you've been a big sponsor here, also supporting our engineering program. We greatly appreciate your involvement with the Alliance.
And the feeling's mutual. We love what you guys are doing for the industry and love seeing all these partners and working together.
Mike, you've been passionate about market share. And your belief, I know because you've told me, is that we really ought to be going faster than we are.
Right.
What are some of the obstacles to our growth that you've seen in your 3 years here in the industry?
Yeah, so I come from this industry and been in pipelines for most of my career. And I think the thing that's interesting about HDPE is it's such an amazing product, and there's so many applications, so many installation benefits and ways to install this pipe, right, that sometimes I think we may even overcomplicate it for end users, and they just don't even understand, hey, this is a crossing, you're using it for the most critical part of a project, right, and then that engineer sees, okay, hey, this cost $500 a foot because it was only 500 feet, and anybody had to mobilize and do all these things, and that if they would take that and expand it, then they would understand that you can have HDPE installed actually cheaper than you can a PVC or a ductile iron, and not only that, but then you get all the benefits from this product.
Yeah, so what you're talking about, say, is like on a river crossing, and we'll just connect right back up to ductile.
Right.
Yeah, and so they compared, polyethylene's more expensive. No, it's the only thing you could have used for that. Right. And you're gonna let it take care of the hard stuff for you, but you're not gonna let it take care of the layups.
Right, because you're paying to get the boring contractors and all those kind of things just for a small job. And if you would have applied that to the full footage or the full mileage, it would have been a lot more cost effective.
Right.
And long term, you're not gonna be replacing it.
Well, since you've been in pipelines so long, Mike, what are some of the things you think we as an industry, you're coming in with a much different perspective than those of us that have been doing this for quite a while. What kind of advice do you have for us and what you've seen in other industries?
Yeah, I think that we're headed in the right direction. I think the advice is that we need to shout it from the mountain and be a real resource for our engineering community, for the owners of municipalities, for the engineering, consulting engineers of the group, being that resource for them. I think because, like I said, it can seem like a complicated material. It can seem like a expensive material if you're not looking at it correctly, and where it really is a cost-effective material. So I think being there for those engineers and municipal owners, and getting that message to them as an industry. And so I can't hire enough engineers, promotional, technical promotion type engineers, right, to do it myself. And it doesn't come across right because they feel like it's a sales pitch from the manufacturer. Sure. But if we come from an engineering and an association that's saying, hey, this is how you specify it, this is the benefits to you, and you have all these different applications. You can burst, you can slip line, you can trench, you can do trenchless, you can do it open cut, you can do all these different things, and you don't have to have less. You have less fittings. You can snake around all the utilities, and as you've seen, sometimes when they open up a street, how bad that is. And so the social impact of this is awesome because you're not opening up everybody's driveway.
One of the things I was surprised about, Mike, and you just threw out a litany of reasons why it's a great product.
Right.
Thus, it is a difficult product to communicate effectively. But and I'm going to talk about this later today, but one of the things that I learned in the webinar program this year was social impacts was the number one reason a webinar audience of engineers, of over 200 engineers, said was the reason to use the product. It wasn't cost, it wasn't leak-free, it was social. That blew me away. I had no idea they held that issue so highly.
I think so. I think that it's social impact, and that impact is then they're getting phone calls from all their constituents and all the people that are in the neighborhood where, hey, this street's opened up, hey, my driveway is blocked, hey, and then this solves all those problems for them. And then they can just put it in trenchless, and it's a great solution.
Yeah, the exciting conversation. I'd love to have more than 5 minutes to talk through this stuff with you. You have a lot of great ideas. I've been amazed at trying to figure out what the hot buttons are. And to your point, there are a lot of them, Mike. And we have solved for the failure mechanisms of other pipe types in a big way. It's a home run.
It is. It's a home run. It can solve not only new installations, but the beauty of this product is that you can, as pipelines are failing, so as you have a 50-year pipeline that's starting to fail, is instead of opening it up, just pipe burst it.
Yeah.
You know, and so you can now put in a better material. So I think the biggest focus is don't do what you've always done as a municipal owner or an engineer.
Yeah.
Don't do what's maybe comfortable or known to you. Hey, this may be a new idea, but this is a superior product that's been around for 50 plus years.
Yeah, it's a new idea to you. And,
Right.
And I would say, Mike, to add to that, it's your responsibility as a municipal owner and as a consulting civil to look more heavily at polyethylene because you have a fiduciary responsibility to take better care of the public, both financially and with a product that's not going to fail.
Right. I think that'd be great.
Mike Leathers, always great to talk to you.
You too, Peter. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for being here today.
All right.